Is it a good idea to do pull-ups every day? Probably not. Pull-ups are a popular and efficient workout for building upper back and bicep strength. You may be tempted, like with any excellent workout, to perform pull-ups every day, apparently to optimize your gains and progress. Pull-ups performed every day will almost certainly result in a massive total number of repetitions over the course of a week or month. However, there are numerous more factors to consider while building strength besides executing as many repetitions as possible, as often as possible. While you may still perform pull-ups every day at least for a while, you must consider the broader picture to ensure your training fits with your goals and produces the desired outcomes. This video explains all you need to know about completing pull-ups on a regular basis, including the advantages, risks, and advice for balancing your pull-up routine. Is doing pull-ups every day a good idea? In the fitness industry, exaggerated stories of enormous daily workouts undertaken by great athletes are nothing new. Unfortunately, many of these programs contain far too much volume, even for experienced fitness enthusiasts, and are frequently far above what a newbie fitness trainee could or should do. However, with the rise of YouTube influencers and other similar social media trends, 30-day workout programs featuring daily training with high repetitions have grown in popularity. This is not to say that doing these exercises is impossible, but rather that this sort of program is better seen as a challenge rather than an effective training regimen for long-term gains. According to studies on resistance training, which is the type of exercise that pull-ups fall under, exercising every day is not the greatest approach to maximize progress, especially when repeating the same activity every day. Consider a 2017 research that compared the recovery time required for exercising a muscle to failure versus not training a muscle to failure. The study included men with resistance training expertise and discovered that even when not training to failure, 24 to 48 hours of recovery was required to notice gains. Although this study focused on the squat and bench press, because adaptations to resistance training are biochemically comparable across muscle groups, a pull-up session will most likely require a similar recovery period, especially when doing repetitions to failure. However, it is reasonable to say that training every day is not the ideal strategy to enhance strength or other fitness goals in general. 8 things that happen when you perform pull-ups every day. If you decide to do pull-ups every day, you will notice some gains, though they will most certainly be smaller than if you give yourself time to recuperate between sessions. Even so, you put yourself in danger of overtraining-related effects. The potential outcomes, both positive and negative, will be decided by your background, present fitness level, and programmed genetic reaction to resistance training. When performing pull-ups on a daily basis, you should expect to observe the following. 1. For a while, you'll grow better at pull-ups. Pull-ups are a technical activity that requires practice to increase your coordination and movement efficiency when completing the workout. You'll eventually see diminishing benefits as cumulative exercise stress eats away at your capacity to recover and progress. However, you will improve your mobility skills, especially in the early stages of training. 2. Muscular strength and endurance will increase. If you're not already capable of performing 15 to 20 pull-ups in a single set, you'll notice an increase in upper body muscle strength. This means that you can theoretically lift a greater weight with the same amount of repetitions. However, you will enhance your muscle endurance, allowing you to accomplish more repetitions with the same weight. Because you're probably doing pull-ups with only your body weight, this means you can do more pull-ups each set before reaching muscular failure. 3. Your muscle size may expand over time. Resistance activities, such as pull-ups, cause your muscles to grow in size over time if you eat a calorie excess and get enough protein. Because your body must create new muscle fibers from the amino acids you consume in meals, this impact takes longer than movement, strength, and endurance improvements. However, because this process of muscle protein synthesis happens at rest rather than during the workout, the improvements in muscle growth will most likely be smaller than what you would experience if you had appropriate recovery time. 4. You're in the danger of elbow and shoulder overuse injuries. The shoulder and elbow joints are the key joints involved in pull-ups. Overuse damage can occur with any repeated movement. In most cases, doing pull-ups every day would result in an overuse injury. The total risk of overuse will be significantly influenced by how many pull-ups you perform in relation to how well your joints are now conditioned. If you're used to doing a few hundred pull-ups per week in 1 to 2 training sessions, a few dozen per day will most likely not push you above your limit. If you're new to pull-ups or are deconditioned, a few sets per day performed every day might result in an overuse injury. Other workouts that involve the same joints might also contribute to overuse. There is no formula for calculating how many repetitions will result in overuse damage. Nevertheless, a lack of recovery time and past joint fitness levels will be significant factors. 5. You risk overtraining. Overtraining is a complex problem involving the interaction of the neurological, muscular, endocrine, and skeletal systems. Overtraining in general refers to a range of mild to severe impacts associated with training loads that routinely surpass your body's ability to recover. Researchers have failed to create adequate criteria for detecting overtraining in resistance athletes. Nonetheless, current knowledge of overtraining suggests that doing the same exercise every day, especially at large volumes or to muscle failure, puts you in danger of overtraining. 6. Muscular imbalances can occur. Pull-ups work the upper back and the biceps. While they are significant muscles, no muscle group should be abnormally strong in comparison to the rest of your body. You will create a muscle imbalance if you simply do pull-ups every day. It is critical to use other workouts to counterbalance the pull-ups. However, if you practice pull-ups every day, the time and energy constraints will almost certainly make it impossible to fully train your entire body in a way that removes the possibility of muscle imbalance. 7. You will get a temporary muscular pump. When you work out a muscle, blood and other fluids in the region rise, resulting in the so-called pump associated with weightlifting. While this effect is temporary and differs from true muscle fiber development, because of the increased blood flow and fluid content in the region, it will momentarily give your muscles the illusion of greater size and vascularity. If you perform pull-ups on a daily basis, you should be in a near-permanent state of a muscular pump in your arms and upper back. 8. You'll make less progress than if you recovered. This is unquestionably the most significant thing that happens, or rather does not happen, when doing pull-ups every day. Simply put, if you do not allow yourself 24 to 48 hours of recuperation following a pull-up training session with enough volume to matter, you will not get ideal results. Strength, technique, endurance, and muscular size will all improve. However, these will be smaller than if you had taken recuperation time. This, of course, assumes you don't suffer an overuse injury after a week or two of daily pull-up training. If your aim is to complete a set number of pull-ups per day, then lack of optimal growth may not be a worry. However, most individuals who do pull-ups want the subsequent strength and muscular growth more than they want to do the pull-ups themselves. If you perform pull-ups for physical gains, you should be aware that doing them every day is likely to hinder your progress. Doing pull-ups every day has certain advantages, but they are overshadowed by the risks and limitations of doing the same activity every day. If you opt to practice pull-ups every day, limiting your sets to less than failure and completing exercises that work the rest of your body will help to reduce some of the possible drawbacks. Hope this video helped. Thanks for watching.